Hi, this is Dave Halverstadt, and I'm doing this video to give you some information about Module 2, which is the week of January 18th, coming up beginning tomorrow, Monday. Today is Sunday. Module 2 specifically is about the external and organizational environmental factors that influence strategic planning. This whole process is called a SWOT analysis, and it's an analysis of the strengths and weaknesses and the opportunities and threats. That's what SWOT stands for, SWOT, in the external and internal operating environments of organizations. The challenges to the organization are identified in the SWOT analysis, and many of the strategic objectives are proposed solutions to meet these challenges. And it isn't just challenges, it's also the purpose of the SWOT analysis is to identify opportunities for success. So a lot of the strategic objectives will also be based on taking advantage of the strengths of the organization, the assets of the organization to help achieve strategic success. So your strategic objectives thus are a combination of meeting what is perceived to be threats in the external and internal environment, and also what is viewed as capitalizing on the organization's strengths, both externally and internally. Now, there are two primary discussion board questions. The chapter reading for Module 2 week is 2 and 3. The discussion board questions are largely based on 2 and 3. There are some videos at the bottom of Module 2. One is on external business duration. One is on what is your organizational culture, why culture matters to your organization. And the third one is a YouTube video on HR management's ethics and fairness. Part of this module isn't just dealing solely with the SWOT analysis of the internal external operating environments of the companies. It's also asking the question or having information presented, the legal constraints on HR, the legal rights of employees, and the legal environment that organizations have to operate in terms of equal employment laws. And one of your discussion board questions will be based on, do you think the laws are adequate, or do you think the capital system, the capital enterprise system by itself is appropriate to ensure workers' rights, or do we need more laws to protect individual workers' rights as we go along beyond what we currently have? And that'll be part of your discussion board posts. I want all the posts in, as I said last week in my expectation. I'm going to take a coffee break. I want all of your initial posts in by Wednesday, the 20th. I want you to respond to I want at least 2 peer responses for every discussion board question in by, let's say the 22nd, which is Friday. That gives me time to look at them, respond to them. I'm not going to wait till Friday to respond, but from Wednesday on, actually from Tuesday on each week, I look at the responses and I'll respond, but I want to read them first. I don't just click on reply and start typing. It's not quite that simple. So I want you to, again, have all of your initial posts done by Wednesday the 20th, and I want your posts to peers, 2 per discussion board question, or 2 per peer, actually, done by Friday the 22nd. Now, there's something very important at the end of this module that I want you to pay close attention to. There is a practice test. And I believe there will be a practice test at the end of modules 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7 as well. Although even if there isn't, there's a practice test at the end of several of those modules. And the purpose, it's not graded. The purpose of the practice quiz is to test your knowledge on the reading so far. This is really important because in week 5 you have a midterm exam over chapters 1 through 7. So you want to start taking these practice quizzes to give yourself a sense of how well you're understanding the material, how the material relates to strategic management, because the midterm will ask you those kinds of questions based on your reading. So, and if you have any concerns or questions about the test or anything else, of course, get a hold of me as soon as possible. Email is great, but if it's a really pressing problem and you need to hear from me right away, please call me on my cell phone, which is 360-791-1526. And for heaven's sakes, if you have trouble viewing these videos, which I'm using as the primary communication tool, please let me know and I will email you what I told the students who were able to look at the video. Okay, I think that's it. There are some embedded research links in Module 2, but frankly, I'm having trouble coming up with the article on my end. So I would rely primarily on the 3 videos that I mentioned and on the chapter reading to respond to the discussion board questions primarily. There is some other supplemental material in Module 2, which looks pretty good, which you can look at your leisure. It's not required, but it's just there for your supplemental reading to expand your knowledge. But the required reading is chapters 2 and 3, and I want you to look at those videos at the end of Module 2 as well, because I think they're relevant to parts 1 and 2 discussion board questions. Okay, I think that's it. Let me look at my list here to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. No. Okay, so what you'll see in Module 2 is we're beginning the process of explaining strategic management and how strategic objectives are formed, what their purpose is, how that process has to fit into the legal environment that HR and all of their employees have to operate within. And so that's going to be a rather interesting merging those two concepts. So we will talk more about that in the discussion board questions, and I'll probably have another video lecture, not lecture, but another video later in this week. And I'm going to start lecturing in video too, because I think some of the areas that I really want you to get the points, I'm going to let you know what I think is important, and we'll probably start that middle of next week and for the rest of the course. Okay, sorry the Seahawks lost. That offensive line's got to learn to block and give Wilson a chance to throw the ball, but oh well, I'm not the coach. I'm sure Pete Carroll knows that. But at any rate, playoff madness is over with for us. I'm really sorry we didn't beat the Panthers, but this has nothing to do with the course, but I am human. I do watch football just like everybody else. Okay. I hope you have a great week, and please let me know if you need any help on anything. I'm here for you. I want this to be a quality learning course, and I need your partnership, your help to help make that happen. I can't read your mind. So if you got something you need to talk to me about or discuss with me, please let me know. I really encourage that. Okay, have a good week.